Tony. He is coming.
Who's coming?
Well, great question. This is a retro roguelite fantasy RPG. You essentially are moving around on tiles, and every time you move, that progresses time. And you kind of have this day and night cycle where when it gets to nighttime, the map becomes like very dark, and enemies become question marks, and they start to move towards you. But as you get injured in the game, you can go to sleep, and you can go rest at your a campfire or your home in order to get your health back and progress to daytime. But at the end of every 3 days, a boss comes and attacks you, and you have to try and defeat them. So you essentially, the way combat resolves is you have armor and gear you find. So your sword will give you an attack, and then you'll be able to change your stats. You may have a sword that deals less damage but gives you more armor or gives you more health. And you can kind of get you have 4 item slots, and you can change the way that your gear works. And then once you defeat the boss, you get more item slots. This game, I think, was really fun. It starts off very simple, but it starts to get more complex as you go more into the builds and stuff.
Okay. When the vibe is very strong with the...
Yeah, so the way it works is you start to get a bunch of items, and then I found a bunch of items that had synergy with each other where they increased my max health. And then I got 3 of them, and it's well done, you unlocked a set bonus. I was like, wait, what the fuck? There's set bonuses in this game? So the game has I launched this game to what you're seeing right now, Tony. This is the start of the game. This game does not have a tutorial.
Right.
This game just goes go, and I was like, okay. At first I was like, wait, there's no tutorial, and then I started playing it. I was like, nope, this game does not need a tutorial. It is very straightforward, but as you start playing it, then you immediately get it, and it's I feel like the best tutorial is to just play the game and experience it, sort of thing. Because it's very much what if you die? It's it's a roguelite. You just start again, and you take your learnings, and you use that information to do that. Also, you see that gives me the ability to reveal location on the map, and what I revealed there was a hero's grave. So heroes' graves are good because they have a guaranteed piece of good gear at them. So they're areas where a past hero has fallen, so you kind of want to move towards those. You can kind of play the game in lots of different ways. So you can... Wood is the currency, so you can get merchants on the map, and you can use wood to buy items, and you can re-roll items in order to... I think it's... Actually, is it coins? I'm going to say it's gold. It looks like wood to me on the icon, but I think it's meant to be gold. Because there's an item that gives you extra gold, so I think it's supposed to be gold. Yeah, this immediately, with this game, once the way you progress through the game is when you complete certain achievements and challenges, then you unlock more items for you to play around with. It gave me that feeling of the set bonus thing gave me the feeling I had playing Vampire Survivors, where you get the evolution of the weapons before. The game never explains evolutions to you, and then suddenly you combo 2 items together and it does an evolution. And I'm wait, this game is really starting to open up and become quite interesting. There's also weapons that trigger on exposed. So there's stuff that triggers on when you first lose armor in battle, so you can have armor builds. Also, there's another stat called speed. So who attacks first is based on how much speed you have, and there's items that scale off speed, there's items that scale off armor, there's items that scale off health. There is so much this game is incredibly simple, but has the depth of an ocean when it comes to the stuff you can build out of it. It's great. It immediately reminds me of stuff like Vampire Survivors or Balatro, where I'm you sit down, it's very easy to start, and then it's okay, now show me where you're going, what's coming next, sort of thing.
Easy to get into, but mechanical depth.
It's very simple, cool. Pick up and put down, time moves when you move, sort of thing. like tile-based. Yeah. It said that I was a knight. There might be multiple classes. I'm not sure, but I was the knight class for the demo. I don't know if you can unlock different classes. As you can see here, this guy has higher speed than me. He has... Oh, so I'm dead, basically. Because he's dealing 4 damage every turn, and I'm doing 2.
Oh, God.
And so he's eventually going to kill me. But this is my first ever run without like the tutorial, so I was like, okay, now I'm starting to understand Mechanos. But you can see here, like...
You can prepare.
Dying is an achievement, so it's like, okay, you died, but we're going to give you some more items. So, like, here's a helmet that gives you 1 thorns. Oh, this game has thorns, so when people attack you, they get injured, sort of thing.
Makes sense, makes sense.
And there's different areas. So, like, I was playing in the woodlands, but there's also like a swamplands area. I don't know if that's like a new level that you can play on. But I feel like every time I play this and I lose, I'm like, this just gives me knowledge for my next run. I don't know. I'm immediately getting like, I'm immediately getting like, you know, addictive Balatro Vampire Survivor vibes from this, where I'm just like, I can't wait to play again in order to test more stuff out, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because
roguelites are working well.
I'll show you like some of my build here. Because I got the set, but so this is the set. I'll see if I can show you when I got the set bonus. So you discovered an item set. So I've got all this health stacking gear, and the bonus I got was really cool. I think it like, whenever I get wounded for the first time, so triggers when your health drops to 50% or lower for the first time. So every time I would go down to half health, I would immediately restore to full health. And the armor set that I was wearing was like health stacking, so that was really interesting.
Okay.
So there's like stuff you can get that will just keep healing you every turn. So I wasn't needing to use like campfires as much with my build because I had so much health and I could heal, but then I didn't have very much attack. So I was taking more items that gave me like attack was a premium because you don't get much attack outside of weapons. So like I feel like the attack stack is kind of like a premium whenever you can get it on an item sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you can see here like you can re-roll the shop, you can buy new stuff. And then I guess if you try and buy stuff that goes together, you unlock more set bonuses, which is really cool. So I killed a bunch of bosses, and then I got to... I'll show you. The Leshen, which I was like, there's no way I'm going to kill him. And then I killed him, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he's like, haha, here's my true fucking form. And I was like, okay, well, I'm dead. He's got like 100 health, 50 armor, yeah. I think... Because I was reading the community post on the Steam discussion, I was like, we have now made the final boss killable. So I think you can technically kill this guy, but I was like, you need some sort of like broken build for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I think was just... I feel like this is just the end of the demo, or it's just like a skill check to just be like, okay, you need to keep playing and getting stronger sort of thing.
Yeah.
You can speed up the combat as well. So I was like, I'm dead, let me speed this up. But yeah, he is coming. Really fucking good. Really interested in this game. Tempted to just, you know, get on release sort of thing. Let's talk about Promise Mascot Agency, which is one of the weirdest games I've ever played, but also one of the most intriguing I've ever played. Tony, this is made by the developers of Paradise Killer, which I believe is like a weird detective game where you're just going around an island doing like platforming, just talking to people and trying to figure out like who the murderer is. This game is... Oh, it's loud. Oh shit, I'm playing Paradise Killer music. That's why that's so loud, sorry. Promise Mascot Agency is the story of an ex-Yakuza who is forced to go to a derelict town to run a mascot agency from a corrupt mayor, but he just wants to fix up the town and help out characters. Like, oh, by the way, Tony, all the characters are speaking Japanese, and the main Yakuza character is Kazuma Kiryu from fucking Yakuza's voice actor. I shit you not. It's Kiryu. They have so many like great like Japanese voice actors in this like weird indie game, and all of the characters are really interesting and really cool. I played this demo and immediately was like, I'm going to purchase Paradise Killer, because if they made this fucking demo, Paradise Killer must be really fucking good, because that's all like writing and characters, and this game is really, really cool. Tony, this game makes me feel like I'm playing The Simpsons Hit. It has like the gameplay of like The Simpsons Hit and Run. It's like a wholesome GTA where I'm just driving around. I'm cleaning shrines. Like you don't ever really get out of your car. You're just kind of like you drive around and you're managing your mascots. It's like half like GTA exploration, then half like management. And your mascots go on gigs.
Fascinating.
And when they go on gigs, they can sometimes have a meltdown, and they go into like this turn-based battle thing where you have to go and help them out. It's a really fucking weird game, but I wish there was more games like Promise Mascot Agency. This game was really fucking cool.
It sounds so weird. So just
the
combination of stuff.
A wallet containing a tear streak photo of a man and 2,000 yen in cash I found on the street. So I'm going around, I'm cleaning up shrines, I'm hiring heroes to help protect my mascots. I'm driving through billboards as collectibles. It is like, you know, Simpsons Hit and Run. Like, I'm not murdering people. I'm just driving around, I'm exploring. And the game is set up in a way where, again, it's very like open-ended, do whatever you want sort of thing, where it's like you can send your mascots off to do their jobs. And you can give them items so they can like heal and not have meltdowns when you're not there. So you can keep exploring, or you can go in and you can like super manage your mascots if you want. This game kind of lets you play however you want. So the game's like, we're just gonna like, I think the demo was like an hour and a half long, and it's like, this is the whole game. Just play for an hour and a half and see where you get to, sort of thing. I want to turn the voice acting up.
So what? Are there people in the mascot suits?
I don't know.
Okay.
Pinky used to run the mascot agency. So the story is Pinky used to run the mascot agency, but they ran out of business. Basically, the mayor of the town found out that there was a grant that he could get if... So, like, I think it's like a thing in Japan where they'll give out grants to cities that are like run down and need help, sort of thing.
Right.
So, by the way, this game is not made by Japanese people. Like, I think they're like French or no, I think they're from the UK actually. So, you know, it's a very like Japanese feeling game made by non-Japanese people.
Right.
But yeah, what was I saying? So the mayor finds about this grant. He completely runs the town down, and then the mascot agency goes out of business because no one can afford to hire mascots for their stores and stuff. Their grand opening of their stores because everyone's run out of money. And the mayor takes the grant to fix up the town, and he's like, I'm going to basically just keep it for himself. He's like a corrupt mayor.
Yeah.
But you've lost your license to the mascot agency, so you need to get your mascot agency back to the mayor. And he's like, why the fuck would I give that back to you? And Kiryu, sorry, not Kiryu, Michi, being the Yakuza that he is, he's like, well, if the mascot agency is back in business, then we'll be able to get more money for you. So he's like, yeah, okay, I'll let you run this mascot agency again. So the way the demo is set up is there is like a big story at the beginning of the game where it's like shows how Michi became like this ex-Yakuza that's been exiled to this like derelict town. But it's basically like, we're going to skip this and give you cliff notes, and that's just so you can just get straight into the demo and play it. And I think that was the perfect thing to do. Just be like, here's the game, play it, here's some story, go ahead, go ham, have an hour and a half, experience what the game's about. Tony, I'm really fucking excited for this game. I played it, and I was just like, damn, I want to play more of Promise Mascot Agency. There's a fucking... I'll go into some of the... There's a tofu that won't stop crying and keeps panicking. I'll see if I can find the... Oh, here's Toronto, and his love is that he just loves the adult film industry. And
okay. I mean, that's understandable.
And you basically are like... I'm a Yakuza. I used to sell counterfeit adult DVDs. I know people in the adult film industry. I can... If you were a mascot for the adult film industry... that would be really good to help you get into the business. And he's like, yes, that's what I want to do in my life. Everyone in this game feels like a Yakuza character in a mascot uniform. Like, this is the most Yakuza-ass game from, like, a random, like, an indie UK studio. Like, I don't know. This game is really fun and really interesting. And it has the gameplay of Simpsons Hit and Run mixed with management. It's really fucking fun. I love this. This is weird, and this is what I'm looking for. I don't know.
A weird mashup of stuff, yeah. I mean, it sounds really cool. What's the last game that had, like, the Simpsons Hit and Run vibes, other than Simpsons Hit and Run?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, wholesome GTA games. LA Noire, kind of? Where there was, like, you just drive around, you can't really kill anyone.
Well, you're the good, you're the good guys, right? Theoretically.
Games like GTA, because I think most of them are just also violent. There's no way Minecraft and Roblox are like GTA Google. Like, what is going on here?
Is this the AI?
Oh, this is something I should mention. When you hire a mascot, you have to give them perks in order to get them more interested in being hired. So you can give them more perks. But if you give them more perks, they're more likely to take the job. But then I might have to give them extra shares of the job they take. Or, like, for example, one of my mascots I hired, I have to give him time off every 7th job he goes on. So I can't use him while he's on holiday. So there's, like, lots of interesting things you can do with, like, the management stuff as well. I'll see if I can find some gameplay. Oh, this is a support hero.
A support hero?
Yeah,
what?
You need people to protect your... there's a lot of weird fucking characters in this game. I'll see if I can find some gameplay of what happens. I think I've gone past it. I'll be after the support hero. Which means I'll be after the cat. Sorry, this might be unwatchable as I just try and skip through. Oh, here it is. So my mascot got stuck in a door, so he started to panic, and I was potentially going to lose the job, but I had my support hero there in order to agency boss assist mode, and it essentially turns into like that. He's now fighting against the door in order to get through it.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it's all depending on like his stats. And then it's like you use your support cards in order to help him defeat the obstacles he comes. So there's like a strategy like card element to it as well, which is really interesting. And you can, like, as you drive around and you find yen and you do jobs to get money, you can buy new support cards, you unlock new ones, you can do side quests. I was doing a side quest where this guy just wanted me to help him find his cats, and I found a cat, and I was like, yeah, here you go. Oh, it's a live stream. This is something you know, like in live streams in Japan or, like, China, they have, like, words that just come across the screen. Like, this is a live stream of, like, the mascot fans watching what's going on. Which is something you don't see in like Western live streams. Like, great. Yeah. You see, you can. And then I spoke to a guy who was like a mechanic, and he was like, "Yeah, I can put like rockets on your fucking car, and I can make it float in water." And I was like, "Oh my god, I will spend so much time just driving around, knocking over billboards, sending my mascots off to do jobs, and just exploring and upgrading my vehicles." This game is really fun. I need to talk about something else. Skin Deep. Skin Deep is essentially a spaceship immersive sim, but with banana peels and reattachable heads. It also reminded me a lot of jazz punk in a lot of different ways.
Oh, sure.
It's like you have these big open ships and you can approach them in lots of different ways. So if I can skip ahead. So the enemies of this game have these like insurance for their heads. That means when you kill them, their heads float off. In order to like fully stop them from becoming immortal, you need to dispose of their heads. So say for example, I'll skip past the tutorial area. I'll see if I can find like some. So I got this black pepper. I throw it at him, which then makes him sneeze. And then I pounce on top of him. I then have to charge him into things in the environment to knock him out. And then I have to like pop off his head. And then I'm like, shit, what do I do with the head? I find the nearest toilet and then flush his head down the toilet, and that eliminates the guard. Like, it is like such a weird, like wacky immersive sim, but it is like pretty
what the hell?
So, another point is the guards can't breathe in space, but you can in this game for some reason. So you can also just like smash the window and then just like chuck the guy's head out into space and to kill him, sort of thing.
You an android then?
No, you're not, but you can breathe in space for some reason. But this game has so many different ways to solve puzzles. You can go stealth, you can just run in and you can be like, I'm going to throw a banana peel in front of this guy on his patrol route and then wait for him to step on it and then use that in order to take him out. You can like go into the environment and you can hack the soap dispenser and turn the soap into flammable soap, wait to the next turn, and then blow up that soap. There is like, it is a great like wacky cartoony immersive sim that has like the feeling of playing jazz punk in it. And
it's been a long time since I've had jazz punk feel to a game.
Yeah, it is very, I feel it's almost like that, like, is it like I feel like it's a 70s feel. Oh, Tony, the objective of this game 60s. Is you are getting key cards to free cats from prisons. Don't ask me why, but that is the objective of every mission. The animation is also ridiculous. Let me I was like, let me just flush this down the toilet. I think I got the key. So when you knock out the guard, I got the key card to let the cat out. And I'll show the animation. Also, if that like a guard set up an alarm, you can get a walkie-talkie and click it and be like, everything's good here. False alarm.
Right.
Or you can find like a microphone. So like you release the cats and they just come jumping out of this fucking thing.
And they were the crew members, okay.
The cat crew, yes. But it does have this weird like...
Heavily soiled. That's a good name.
I'm just like, you can zoom in on anything and like inspect it from far away to be like, oh, what is going on here? Oh, okay, here's a soap dispenser, but you know. It is very open. My only issue was it just seemed like peppering guards and pouncing on them was always the easiest thing to do, and you had like unlimited pepper in the game. It's like, you know when you're playing like a thief and you try and run at a guard face head on with a sword and they just kick the shit out of you and go, or like you try and hit a guard overhead with the blackjack and it's like, ooh, a little baby bird's trying to peck at me. And they just laugh at you because your like attacks are so ineffective if you try and come at them straightforwardly.
Do you think this game should have like a memory source of it? Like you've done this to one guard, the next guard you do the same thing will be harder to do it to.
I think the issue is they don't want to stop like the players playing however they want to play, but I think like the problem with players people
optimize fun out of everything.
Yeah, like when you find the one weapon that's good in a game, you're just like, why would I use the other weapons? This weapon's good, and it's like it's my fault. Like I'm the one doing it, and I'm trying.
I remember. Do you remember Scribble Notes? So it's like the whole point is like have fun. Like it's like a kids game, have fun solving puzzles with just like writing stuff down to like summon. It
Yeah.
was like, oh, but it's really. I saw some crazy like, oh, it's really easy. You just say I'm invincible, Superman, and you just do all the levels. Like, I feel like you're missing the point.
Yeah.
But that's how people think.
But it's like, because I killed this other guy, because I did want to do the soap stuff and be like, use the soap to like fuck up the guard and then evacuate his head out. But I couldn't figure it. I tried to do it and I couldn't figure it out, like how to get the soap back on. And I was like, well, I'll just pepper him and kick his head out. But I was like, wait a minute, I can breathe in space. I don't need to walk all the way to the toilet. Why don't I just fucking vent this guy into space?
Yeah, I feel like as well as like I feel like if you kill someone by putting them into the toilet, it should close the toilet so you can't do it again. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Again,
like not to eliminate be able to do it again and again, but like to like just slightly limit it. Kind of feel like maybe like the middle ground somewhere.
There might be like a higher like the way they did difficulty in Thief was on the normal difficulty you just have to go in, do the main objective, and get out. But the way they increased the difficulty of Thief wasn't like by making the enemies have more health or stuff. It was just like you just have to get more stuff. Like you would have to steal like random jewels. You would have to steal like a bunch of bonus stuff, and it would just make you. It would become more difficult by the amount of stuff that you do. Maybe in this game there'll be like higher difficulty. They could be like eliminate guards in this way.
Yeah.
But there is bonus challenges. Like I found a cassette tape, and I feel like some of the challenges are probably going to be like, will probably be stuff like eliminate 2 guards by making them slip on a banana peel or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Skin Deep is interesting. Let's move on to the next one. First, Berserker Khazan. This is a cel-shaded anime style Dark Souls game. I wrote down finally Korean Dark Souls, but then I was like, wait, isn't Lies of P like Korean Bloodborne? Combat feels pretty good in this game. I would like to be able to rebind more keys. Again, I don't know. I've seen this several times with Unreal Engine games. You can't rebind the use key. It's like I tried to rebind the use key from F and it was like to E, and it was like, no, you can't do that. It will break the game.
I think all actions should be rebindable.
But I've seen this with I think it was Pal World as well. They had to do an update to allow you to rebind the use key. And I was like, is this an Unreal Engine thing?
Maybe.
Like I don't know. But yeah, exploration was okay. One big thing for me though was I hate stamina bars, and this game has a stamina bar. The reason I love Sekiro is it has that amazing like open world exploration combat, but the game's never like no you can't run right now, you can't dodge right now, you've got no stamina. It's like movement. Like I've been talking about for like an fucking hour about how much I love movement in games. Whenever a game's you can't move, I'm just like, man, that feels fucking awful. And I get like there's a weight to it and there's a cost to it, right?
Yeah. I think it's just like I think it's different expectations. Like I kind of understand it because like it's like you're not meant to just spam do something over and over again. It's meant to make it more impactful, make you make decisions.
But like,
it depends how it's implemented, I suppose. Like, how many options do you have if you can't dodge? I guess.
But I went to this game and I was trying to play Sekiro. I was like, I'm going to try and parry everything.
Right.
I'm going to run around and dodge, and I was like, oh man, I'm dying.
So I find a middle ground should be like if you're parrying, you should like regain stamina or something, so you can just keep dodging. Maybe that's kind of how I feel.
There's like a perfect parry to this. Like if you parry at the last second, I think you get like, because they have like some sort of stagger bar in this game. I don't know. It feels like if you're somebody who's really into Souls games, like you're probably gonna like this. But for me,
more Soulsy than Sekiro.
Well, I think Sekiro is like Soulsy. It's just
but more the slower stamina bar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the red effects, the lighting's are interesting. That's an intense raid.
But it's very much like it's set up like a so you go in, you spawn at your last campfire, when you die you drop all your souls on the floor where you last died. So you do like a soul run to go and pick them up again. You can farm souls to increase your stats. Again, I'm not a big fan of like just farming souls. Like Sekiro is very much just like you are John Sekiro, you have a sword, go ham, get good, just fight the boss.
I feel like if you have to like start farming, like you kind of
you definitely can do some farming in Sekiro, but for the most part it's just like just go and explore somewhere else. This felt like very much more like close-ended. Like again, it's a demo, but it felt very much like the levels felt very linear on this. Like it was go to like when I kept fighting this guy as like a mini boss, and I was like, what if I just run past him? Oh, the fucking gear in this game was so fucking boring as well. It was like, here is the same pair of pants, but plus 1 armor. And I'm just like, okay. Like this game almost feels like an MMO in some respects, where it's like...
Yeah. Slight upgrade.
Yeah, very like boring, simple upgrades on your gear. There was set bonus stuff, but even then it was like, it's the same gauntlets, but with 1 extra armor. I'm just like,
I'm so done with that. Like, it's so many games have done it, and I was like, I'm done. Just don't add it. Just have bigger gaps. You then suddenly get so much better. Like, if you're gonna do it.
There's some cool parts. Like I was fighting these big golem guys, and then I was fighting these soldiers, and they started to fight each other, and I was like kiting them to fight each other. And I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. And then there was this big boss guy at the end I was fighting. Do I have gameplay of the boss thing? Oh, this thing, and I kept dying to it, and I was like, I could learn this boss fight, but I don't really like this game, so I'm going to stop playing it.
Right. That's interesting. I guess, is the number still up? What? This is one that you have to like see, like, is it for you? Like, is it like, does it feel right?
There's still a demo up if you want to try it. I don't think you would like it, but you could try it.
No. Looks interesting though.
Let's move on to the next one. Oh, Total Chaos. So I don't know if you remember, but there is a Doom 2 mod that essentially, it's one of the best looking Doom 2 mods I've ever seen. It is, look up Total Chaos Doom 2.
Right.
It essentially takes the Doom engine and makes like a photorealistic looking game in the Doom engine. It is absolutely crazy. People really loved that, and then they were like, well, we could just take that game and then remake it in the same like ideas and stuff, but remake it in Unreal Engine 5. And that is what Total Chaos is. It is a
So Stanley Parable did it?
Yeah, they took it from a mod and like, let's upgrade it and make it into its own thing, sort of thing. And it's being published by Apogee as well, who are like the big boomer shooter publisher right now. They were the old boomer shooter guys, and now they're publishing stuff. It's also from the creator of Turbo Overkill, which is like a super fast-paced new boomer shooter FPS that just came out in the past couple of years. It is set up very much like a survival horror game. It kind of reminded me of playing like a Resident Evil game, like a first-person slow-paced Resident Evil game. It is very much like you have like weapons with durability on them. You have limited health supplies. You have to try and do that. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I tried to turn my boat around, and then someone threw a pickaxe at me.
They throw a pickaxe in the what?
Yeah, and then I got a very bad feeling that I needed to turn around. It's like everything's going very dark. So the interesting thing about this game is it plays very much around like sanity as well. Like sanity is a mechanic in this game.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I really like when games start trying to play with that, because I just feel like it can be really interesting.
But yeah, so like you'll grab like a pipe wrench and then you'll hit people. But But the way the survival like crafting stuff works is you'll have hunger and you'll have health. So you can like stab yourself with a stim pack to get health back, but then you'll start bleeding, which will make you slowly lose health over time. So you might have to like bandage that up. And you can eat food to help with your hunger, but if you eat like rotten food, you might feel sick and that'll affect your health. Like it is very much like you're constantly making trade-offs and just trying to make do with what you have, sort of thing.
Cool. That sounds neat.
And you have like this like almost like attaché case style grid where you have to like put everything into. But you're going to like this old mining facility and you're getting like messages on like walkie-talkie, and you're seeing creatures and you're not really sure what's going on. It's got like a great atmosphere. It's like a good blend of horror and survival, like resource management. And yeah, I think it is really interesting. My recording actually crashed while I was playing this, so I'm trying to find a specific part, but I might not be able to show it to you. I might have to just describe it, because I accidentally started streaming this to Twitch while I was recording it, and that completely fucked up the recording. Because I was... It started streaming to Twitch in 4K, but Twitch can't do 4K, so it was like super low bitrate 4K on Twitch, and it just completely destroyed the recording.
Right.
But there was a point in the game where I got stuck and I literally couldn't progress. And the game kept saying, because it was like, here's some like pills you can take and I think they like heal you, but they increase your madness. And I was like, on the wall they had written like, take these, they're your way to get out. And I was like, I guess I have to take, I didn't want to go mad in the game, but I had to take madness. And then when I took the pills, like walls that I was walking in a circle, and like, you know, like that liminal horror thing where you walk in a circle and you come back around the circle and the actual like structures of the place you're in start to change.
Yeah.
And I went mad, and I started looking at the wall, and I walked around, and then suddenly it was a flesh wall. And then I walked around again, and there was a hole in the flesh wall. And I was like, well, the innate urge of every man to jump into a giant hole of flesh. I mean, come on. It's always there.
Everyone has that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Surely.
But that was a big departure, because I read because I was like, it's like the game set it up so you had to sort of... use madness in order to get through the story and the level.
You wanted to spark and logic your way out without madness.
Yeah, and I looked it up on the Steam forums, and people were saying that is actually a big... I've never played the original Doom 2 mod, but people were saying that's a big divergence from the mod, where the mod has madness, but you never need to use it in order to progress. But with this game, it seems like there's certain points where you do have to go mad in order to progress, which was signposted to you there. I'm hoping there's not lots of points later down the game where it's like, I feel like I'm fucking stuck and I need to go mad in order to see a random hole in a wall somewhere. I'm hoping there's not too much of that, because I think that would be kind of annoying. But yeah, that is Total Chaos. I think it's a really interesting game, and it's really cool to see like this really like well-made like atmospheric survival horror game that's become its own thing in Unreal Engine. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah. It looks really cool. It sounds interesting as well.
I think we have one more demo now. Oh, Tony, I played Wanderstop. Wanderstop is the brand new game from the creators of it's David Redden, the creator of the Stanley Parable, featuring music from C418, the composer of the Minecraft soundtrack.
Yep.
And I think
is it the Tea Shop one thing, right?
Yes, it's the Tea Shop one. I think I was streaming this to you briefly.
Yeah.
The whole time I was playing this, I was like, when is the shoe gonna drop?
Surely you wouldn't show that in a demo.
I'm wondering if the gameplay here... But basically, the start of the game is you play as Alta, who is a sword fighter, and you won every fight, and suddenly Alta starts to lose fights because she wins every fight and she believes she's invincible, right? And she starts to lose fights, and she's like, that's okay, I can train again. And she trains again, and she loses again. And she's running through the forest, and suddenly her sword becomes really heavy. So heavy she can't pick it up anymore. But she wants to find this legendary sword master who is going to help her train, and she can get back to being this legendary sword fighter that never loses. But she starts to get really tired, and she needs to go and rest at this tea shop she finds. And somebody talks to her and is like, why don't you stop worrying about the sword fighting just for a minute until you're strong enough to pick up the sword again, and just try and sit down and do nothing. Why don't you make some tea? Wanderstop is a game about trying to cure burnout, I think. It's a really interesting game. Right. It's a game about making you okay with doing nothing, because a lot of the time you're playing this game, you're just having conversations with people, and you're just waiting for like tea to brew. You don't actually get to run the tea shop in the demo, but I would have been more interested to see where that's going. But you're just waiting for plants to grow. But there's this whole thing of your character feels like they have to keep going. They have to get back to that sword. But that sword is like a metaphor. It's like the sword is really heavy, and you can't pick.
Too much of a burden.
The game will let you keep running back into the forest, but every time you run into the forest, you get too tired, and you have to keep coming back. I don't know if there's like a specific thing that happens if you just keep running back into the forest, or if the game will just keep filtering you back into the tea shop. That felt like where it was going, where it's like the game wants you to just go to this tea shop and just sit back and relax. My issue with this game is I was interested more for like the twist. It feels like there's not a twist. It feels kind of weirdly straightforward for a David Redden game.
Right.
But my issue is, I don't know, I'm not somebody who feels particularly burnt out. And so I don't feel like I need a game about fighting. But I mean, you don't always need to experience the thing that your game is trying to do, right? But I don't really like cozy games, which people have said this game is kind of for people who don't like cozy games and do like cozy games, because there is that cozy game element of you can like plant crops, relax, make tea. But there's a lot of people play those games and like, okay, Stardew Valley, I wake up, I have to do this on this day, and they kind of like over-engineer it. Like they turn Stardew Valley into Satisfactory or Factorio, where they're just like building the most efficient farm possible.
Well, except that they're the conveyor pipes. That's
this game,
it's not management enough.
This game goes, no. You have tea to plant, but there's empty space. You can sit on a bench, you can relax, you can talk to people. This game is trying to make you feel okay with doing nothing, and I think that is beautiful in its own right, but I don't know if it's the game for me.
Yeah.
But that is also something somebody would say who doesn't feel like... That would be the perfect person to play this game, is somebody who's against the idea of doing nothing. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm very like torn on this one.
Maybe the game will have more to it.
The thing is, just like the actual like talking to the characters and the actual like tea stuff, I was like, man, this is really not very like the interesting stuff. Like the tea making is not very interesting to me. I generally don't like. I don't like Stardew Valley. I don't like just sitting around waiting for tea to bake. I don't know. I like games that are slower paced and have more to them. I just don't know if this is a game for me. Like it's one, like I love the soundtrack. It's a great C418 soundtrack, but I think this game released on Steam. Somebody said, I've been recovering from burnout, having played the demo of this game during Expo. I thought it was interesting enough to worth a try. The game promises a relaxing safe haven where you can take your time, work at your own pace, just breathe. But in practice, this game does the exact opposite. It gives me anxiety attacks. I don't think I've actually played 6 hours of the game. Rather, most of the time is just giving me an anxiety attack and having to walk away, leaving the game running. The game world aggressively spawns chores to do, weeds that spread faster than middle school gossip, piles of leaves that emerge literally from the earth itself, sweep them away. I don't know if I'm missing the point of the game, some subtle reverse psychology point about tasks and games and burnout, but the demo led to believe that the game that would be calm, meditative, and restful, and I can't even think about this experience without starting to hyperventilate. So the full game's come out, and people are saying like the actual full game, there's like a lot more to do. So maybe there's more stuff for people who are looking for more stuff to do, but yeah, I don't know.
Still more busy work though.
I think the idea is you're supposed to get annoyed by the busy work though. I think this game, I think this is one of those games that you hate where the game's trying to piss you off. Where I'm like, that's an interesting piece of art.
Well, it depends how it executes. I don't think that alone is good enough. I think if it has something else to say, which does it in a different way, I think you can. Maybe not harm is the right word, but like have negative emotions from the person playing.
But I'm worrying that me finding the game kind of boring and slow and not much to do is kind of the point of the game.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm.
But if that's the whole point, then that's not. But if that is the whole point, then what's the point? I think there needs to be more to be said from it. Like there needs to be the experience. I guess.
Yeah.
You can't know from the amount you played. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's expectations. Like the Stanley Parable and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe are quite possibly some of my favorite games of all time. And this is I'm somebody who doesn't like the Beginner's Guide, which is another game by David Redden. Like I know people love that game, but I'm not a big fan of it. But yeah, definitely one I'm gonna keep an eye on in the future. But I don't know if it's something that I will fully get into.
It's interesting, but. Yeah, because here's a possibility. Like it might just not execute the thing it's trying to do very well. That's a possibility.
Yeah, it's true.
At least from our opinion.
I just always assume I'm an idiot, Tony, because I usually am. That's the thing.
Yeah. I personally always miss like.
I thought you were going to say, I just always assume you're an idiot as well.
No, I'm from the same camp. Like I miss like really obvious things. It's like I can't even be told some of these things to like experience it. I'm very literal. Like I'm literal first. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It sounds interesting, but like I don't know. It depends how it's executed, whether it's good or not to me.
But yeah, the Wanderstop seems like a game about just being burnt out and just doing nothing. I don't know. That's what I got from it. I like the themes of, a sword fighter being unable to lift a sword because it's too heavy. I think that's a great metaphor. But
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I'll play this someday later. But right now, I'm not overly interested in it. I don't know. Maybe I'll be super burnt out one day, Tony, and I'll come back to this and I'll think, man, this is brilliant. I hope so. I'm going to listen to the sound. I'm going to listen to the soundtrack on YouTube Music now.
The soundtrack's chill.
Yeah. I'm listening to the Freerun soundtrack, and that's very chill as well. So.
Oh, nice. So you got a chill playlist going?
Yeah. Well, my friend was saying that she wanted a chill playlist because she wanted to play. She normally listens to like heavy rock music, but she's like, apparently you're supposed to play like really calming music to the baby, and I was like, yeah, I can get you some. I can get some chill music.
So you play metal if you want to become a metalhead, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she wants the baby to like jazz or not, so that's kind of change, what music I recommend,
Yeah.
But we'll have a favourites video where I'll talk about quickly my favourite Steam Next Fest games, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.